So you can unmute your mic now and ask a question.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you for this opportunity.
It's a
Um,
privilege.
However, my question is, can I, with a poor background in mathematics
Mm.
and statistics, do well in data
Mhm.
analysis?
Absolutely. Trust me. Um, I wouldn't want you to limit yourself, right? Your background, I mean, there are people from various backgrounds that are doing well in whichever field they've chosen. Engineering are doing well in finance. I mean, um, sciences are doing well in software engineering, or an accountant, for example. I have an accounting background. Let me know as a case study here. I have an accounting background, and
Okay.
within accounting, I've done software engineering. I'm currently doing data engineering and data analytics. So trust me, your background has nothing to do with all of this,
Okay.
right?
Thank you very
Your background has nothing to do with all of this. It's just your own mindset. Can you see this through? Can you achieve something around this? Right? That is all that matters, right? So I want you to have an open mind to data analysis, right? Have an open mind, right? And trust me, there's no barrier to entry. Everybody has an equal level playing field, right? It's just the amount of work that you put into work that matters the most. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do. I do. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Yeah. Any other question before I share the roadmap? Any question? Um, okay. Message Grace. Let me know with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Unmute your mic and ask a question. Yeah.
Thanks for the class, sir. So my own question is that, please, sir, how does the Excel, how does it, what's the difference between Excel and Google Sheet?
Hmm. Okay. So there's this no difference between Excel and Google Sheets. They're all spreadsheets, right? It is just the maker or producer that is the differentiator here, right? So Microsoft made Excel, right? While Google has Google spreadsheet or Google Sheets in that sense. So they might have varying functions, they might have different outlook in that sense, right? But they all carry out the same tasks, right? They are used for analysis, right? Maybe I didn't mention it, but Excel or Google Sheets is used for analysis. But trust me, it is better to learn with Excel than to learn with Google Sheets because um Google Sheets might want to give you a lot of headache, right? The functions, the shortcuts, and whatnot, right? You might not easily understand it, but within Excel, Excel is readable. It's quite understandable. You can understand the interface, the layer, the ribbon, the dashboards, all of that. They make a lot of sense. All of the buttons in Excel make a lot of sense than Google Sheets. That's why Excel is more preferred than Google Sheets. Do you understand my answer? Hi, Messi. Can you hear me? Messi, can you hear me? You're muted. Uh, mm,
Yes, I can hear you.
can,
I can hear you. I can hear you, sir.
all
Thank
right,
you,
so
sir.
that answer your question correctly.
Yes.
All right, so okay, so Janet, I think Janet has spoken, right? Has Janet spoken? Yeah, public trust. The training will be holding every weekend, Saturdays or Sundays. What analysis tool can a beginner learn or master? Start with Excel, move to SQL, move to a BI tool like Power BI or Tableau, and then end with Python. Right. Okay, the roadmap. All right, let me pick some things question. Samson, ask your question, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Samson.
Uh, um, Thank you for the class and the section. I really enjoyed it. First, I want to ask if there will be, okay, if there will be, if we work on practical data sets during the class, whereby we will mine the data and then interpret the data, like making dashboard from it. And also, if after every class, if you help us by giving us something like assignment, give us a data that will visualize and make dashboard and the we really appreciate that. That is what I want to ask. Because
I
sometimes ago I
mean,
practiced on
yeah.
some data and then it was helpful.
Hmm. All right. So
Thank
to answer your question, the training will for 4 weeks. It's a tester course, more like a introductory course to data analysis. And then every other thing will follow after the after the fourth week, right? And communications will be made to you by the admin, right? So just hold on to the next for the next 4 weeks of training, right? And then we can make a choice between what happens from there. But I don't have too much information about what's going to happen. I'm going to show you from my own end what I do on a daily basis. Right. I'm more inclined to data engineering and I'll just show you what I do. Right. But I started out as a data analyst and currently I'm a data engineer. So tells you that your career can move in different spectrums, right? As long as you have the basic building blocks. Right. So yeah, so that's the answer I can give. So yeah. I hope I answered the question. Something.
Yes, sir, you did.
All right, all right. Very good. Any other question before I share my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So now this is a typical roadmap for a data analyst, right? Let me paste this link in the chat box for you guys. So get the link out so you can read from your end or just follow along as I talk. But you can save that link for future reference, right? Now, uh, this is the starting point for a data analyst, right? And we talked a little bit about all of this. We talked about what data analytics really is, types of data analytics. You have the descriptive analytics that just talks about how you describe an analysis of the data, right? More like the descriptors. Talk about the diagnostic analysis, more like you're examining, right? Predictive analysis is inferring from a data and making insight out of that data. Prescriptive analysis is prescribing a solution or a recommendation based on the insight generated, right? Those are the four types of data analysis. So if you decide to give descriptive analysis, more like you're describing data from the raw data that had happened, maybe from you're generating insight and you're describing what happened within that particular time frame that you're analyzing from, right? That's descriptive. Diagnostic is saying what happened to this particular people within this data set, right? Say for example, um your customers came from the northern region and you're trying to see, oh, what impacted sales in the north than sales in the south. That's a diagnostic analytics, right? You're diagnosing, you're checking to see, you're trying to find facts out, right? So those are the types of data analytics. You move on from there, and then these are the key concepts for data. You learn all of this, right? Can you see how the arrow is moving? It moves from here. This is the introductory part. Yeah, what data analysis is, the type of data analytics. You understand that. Move on to the key concepts for data. We talked about data collection. We talked about that. We talk about cleanup, talk about exploratory data analysis, talk about visualization, statistical analysis, and machine learning. You can still leave out machine learning for now, but focus more on statistical analysis because you need that along your journey. Now, you move on to that and start with Excel, right? You build a strong foundation with Excel, right? And you learn these basic functions. You have your sum function, mean and max, average, count, concat for merging strings together, or text basically, or numbers, whichever way it is, right? You have your trim function for increasing space and empty spaces, or more spaces within a text. You have your upper, lower, and proper in terms of capitalizing your or making lowercase in that sense. So you have your replace and substitute. You have your VLOOKUP and your HLOOKUP that's referencing data from particular cell in another cell in that sense, right? Or a particular page sheet to another sheet, right? Looking up data in that sense, either horizontally or vertically. That's what this also means, right? You have your if conditions, you have your if else, you have your ifs, you have your if, and the likes, right? So you learn these basic functions, and then you move on to SQL. So let me open the SQL roadmap here. Yeah. So this is the SQL roadmap, right? And I'll tell you all of what you should learn here, right? You start with an introduction to SQL. Don't forget, we have moved from Excel. This is all you need to know in Excel, right? The functions you need to know in Excel. After the functions, you move to the charting in Excel, how to draw charts, and how to create pivot tables, right? Trust me, it's no more than this in Excel. It isn't more than this. If you can know how to use functions. I'm not asking you to write a VLOOKUP for Visual Basic, maybe VBA and all of that, or do Visual Basic applications. None of that is required of you as a data analyst, right? I mean, at least for your level now, right? Maybe advanced level or intermediate, so I start talking about that. But for now, learn these functions, move to charting, create pivot tables, analyze your data, right? Then move to SQL. Now, for the SQL, this is the roadmap for SQL, right? You have your data definition language and your data manipulation language, right? And right. So as I was saying, right, let me take this off. So this is the SQL foundation, right? So you have your basic SQL syntax, right? You have the select, insert, update, and delete. You have your data manipulation language. That's the from, I mean, data manipulation language is just saying that altering your data, right? Altering your data, basically, how to manipulate your data, right? Is a form of DML and DDL. Those are two types of languages. You have the DDL and the DML, manipulation and definition. Right. For a definition, you have the create table, alter table, and truncate table. Right. For your manipulation, you have the from statements, the select statement, the react statement, the other by group by having joins, insert, update, and delete. Right. Now, basically all of that. So your DDL speaks to your tables, while your DML also speaks to the table, basically. Oh, all right, let's move on. Then you have the aggregate queries. Now, aggregate queries are your group by and having, right? I mean, once you learn all of this, you say it plays out. I would share this to in charts. Let me copy this here. I have your data constraint, you have the join queries, you have your types of join, the inner join, left join, right join, full outer join, sub join, and cross join. The most used is the left join. Now you have your data constraints, you have your primary key and your foreign key, which are the two most used. You have your unique, non, not null. And these are just constraints to say that, okay, within this particular column, right, I don't want to have a null, right, and all of that. So yeah, you have different views. You have how to create a view, modify a view, drop in views and the likes, right? And you have your concats, lengths of string, replace, upper and lower. You can see that all of these things are repeated in Excel. So your understanding of Excel will give you a good hand scraps in SQL, right? Trust me to give you a good answer in SQL. So I want you to like learn all of this and leave the advanced out. Leave the advanced SQL out. Advanced SQL starts from here. Ignore the advanced SQL. Leave data and time out. Leave conditional out. Leave data test and security out. Focus on this first part. I am telling you that if you can understand all of these parts from here down to your subqueries, right? Part subqueries is a whole lot. But if you can understand from here down to subqueries, you are good to go. From view to subqueries, you are good to go. Right. So let me paste this thing. Uh, I hope okay. I hope to still have time. All right. That's the second link I pasted is the link for the SQL roadmap, right? Now, let me take you a little bit into my work, my daily work. Can you see my SQL screen? All right, I can see it here. Um, all right, thank you. Thank you. So now these are these are data engineering stuff. You can see gold, bronze, and silver layers. I mean, that talks about Medallion architecture, right? This is so advanced. This is talking about procedures, right? So you can still leave that out, right? So create an alter. You notice I mentioned alter as a data definition language, DDL language, right? So create or alter also is also a DDL language. It speaks to the table, right? And this is inserting to these are different columns within the data table. This is your select statement. Your case statement also is needed, right? Now, this case statement is the manipulation. This is where the manipulation happens. Let me show you one kind of manipulation that was done on this particular data set. Now, focus um, on this highlighted text. Now, this is the generation and marital status transformation. You can see my comments here just to give understanding to whoever is reading this, right? Now, I said when my age is between 0 and 18, that's Gen Z. When my age is between 19 and 34, that's millennials. When my age is between 35 and 40, then Gen X and the likes. Else unknown. So if you give me unknown for every age that you can find, right? And showing it as generation. So I was trying to create a new column here, a case, and showing it as generation, right? Now, this is also an encoding. There's something in programming called encoding, or let me say machine learning called encoding. Now, turning your text into zeros and ones, right? Or zeros and ones into text. That's an encoding now, right? So I converted the married data zeros and ones. And you know zeros and ones in programming means true or false. One means true, zero means false. Right. So 0 here stands for single, right? While 1 here stands for married. And all of that, right? So yeah, leaving that, let's focus on other things. Um so let me see if I can get out a one for sure. I want to see if I can show you guys a what's it called? A dashboard. So guys, can you still see my screen? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, this is a typical dashboard, right? Not so much details, right? And you can see here you have the sales year to date, the customer account year to date, line liter volume, sales, transaction year to date, average cost year to date, customers gained year to date, customers lost year to date. These are all short tables, right? And you can see the changes month on month, right? These are changes month on month. So if I click on March, you can see that the data changes, right? If I click on April, you can see it's changing. May, June, you can see it's changing. July. If I select 2 months, you can see it changes. If I select 3 months, you can see changes. So this is just the report view, right? If I highlight this guy, you can see what happens here. If I click on this guy, you can see what happens here. If I click on the guy, you can see it's very interactive. If I come to this place, this is table view, right? This is a table view. And these are my dimensions and fact tables. In Excel, you have in Power BI, you have something called dimension and facts, right? So you can see all of this guy here is what we call the DAX code, right? DAX formula, basically, right? So you just a formula to like get your dates table out, right? And you can see the dates table below here. You have your days, fiscal month year number, your year, fiscal year. Now look at this data set. The fiscal year started from June and it is going to end in when? Sorry, when did this fiscal year start? So I think fiscal year started in March, if I'm right. Where is that at? Yeah, fiscal year started in March. This is quarter two. You can see this is second quarter, right? And the month number here is 6. You can see the month number here is 1, right? Fiscal month number here. Look at the fiscal month number. This is the fiscal month number. This is how you know the fiscal month. Fiscal month here is March. So the fiscal year started in March 2020. So that means that the 12th month will be in February. And if you look at this data set, you can see that this 12 months, focus on this column, fiscal month here. This column has the 12th month as February. So you can be giving data in different dimensions, right? Your major goal is make sense of that data. Make sure you're not cooking beans, right? Don't cook beans. Now, last time we show you is what the the relationship diagram, the data model view. You have your fact series, which is your fact table. Like I mentioned, your fact table is your metric table, right? That is your quantitative data, right? Speaking to your dimension table, which is your dimension date table, right? So this is descriptors, right? It describes data within the sales table, right? So this is just a basic table, basic model view. For some, you could have a star schema, snowflake schema, you could have an ERG diagram, and the likes, right? So this is just telling you about the possibilities that exist within data analysis. These are examples of what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis, right? So, guys, with this, I hope that I have not confused you guys, but I've been able to like make more sense that data analysis is a good learning space for you guys, and there's space for everybody. All right. So, does anybody have any question? We have 2 more minutes. Any question? I see that clap. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Janet. Thank you. Any questions? We're almost running up. I mean, any questions? So I'll share this data set with you guys. What I used to work on this, I'll share it with you guys so that you can also work on it. Yeah, pretty much it. Since there are no questions, I think we can call it a close here. See you guys. See you guys maybe on tomorrow or next week. as the admin as the admin says, right? The admin will determine when next your classes will be, right? So you guys should watch out on that space. Thank you guys so much. It was a great privilege being with you guys this afternoon. Trust me, it means so much joy to me doing this with you guys. So hope to see you guys next time. Bye for now. Thank you.